Good evening and welcome to the Captain's Log. This is going to be a new web series, podcast, vlogcast, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Introductions, I guess, is where we start. I have been a commercial truck driver now for almost 25 years, and in those 25 years I've always been a company driver, so I've been assigned to work for a company under their payroll. Just recently, within the last 2 weeks, I decided that I'm going to become an independent truck driver. So that's what I've done. This is my first truck that I bought, and I'm on my second load as an independent contractor. So I'll have to keep you updated as time goes on to see how that's going. So hopefully everything will go well. I'm still kind of moving into the truck and getting it all set up. Once that's done, I'll kind of give you a little tour around the truck and what I'm planning on to do for the future. So basically what this video cast is going to be is just musings and random thoughts that I have while I'm driving on the highway. Now, I primarily work at night, which I really enjoy. Because there's not a whole lot of traffic out, and usually the temperatures, especially summertime, are cool down, and the only thing you really got to watch out for are the drunks and the deer. So hopefully that will go well. I don't know if you can see her in the back there. That is my cat Psycho, and she is this is her first attempt at being a trucking kitty. Yeah, so I'm kind of looking forward to it. I hope she's kind of calmed down. She was really agitated earlier when I got her in the truck, so I've been sitting here for about an hour waiting for my reset to end so I can head in to pick up a new load. But I wanted to give her time to kind of get acclimated to the truck before we started running. So I'm hoping she does well. She seems to do okay riding in the car, so we'll see how that goes. So for the future, I'm the captain of this ship, and that's First Officer Psycho. If anyone knows me at all, they know I'm a huge aviation nut, and so that's one of the reasons why I call this the Captain's Log. And another reason why is because my company that I own is Kirk Transportation, like Captain Kirk, so it kind of works out for me. I've been called that since I was a little kid, ever since like I could basically walk, I guess. I've been called Captain Kirk. I'm not a huge original series Trek fan. I'm more into the later series, the Voyagers and Deep Space Nines and whatnot. But when everyone asks me, am I related to James T. Kirk, I always say I'm his great grandfather. If you follow the timeline, that takes place like in the 23rd century, so I think 4 or 5, 6 generations away. Makes sense. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but it's just it's a nickname I kind of grew up with, so I'm used to it and I enjoy it. So also because I'm an aviation nut, I realized just how kind of similar this job is to being an airline pilot. Not necessarily a domestic short-haul carrier, more like a freight carrier, because, well, I obviously carry freight, but I also operate from a central hub, and I work in a region of the country up here in the north central part, so I kind of cover Minnesota, Wisconsin, North and South Dakota, Iowa, Upper Peninsula. I haven't really gone much outside of that for this company I work for that I lease my truck onto. But I'm always looking to get some longer runs. Obviously, as your owner-operator, all the expenses are yours, and you need to take as much money or miles as you can, because obviously you get paid by the mile. Fuel is an expense, trucking insurance, all kinds of different fixed costs you have to deal with. So what I'm trying to do is I bought this is a 2014 International. I've heard a lot of bad things about this particular engine that's in this truck, because they say it's has a lot of major issues, and the reason why I picked it is because it was only $14,000, and my goal is to just run it until I can't run it anymore, and then upgrade to a much nicer truck. Now, I'm not real particular on brand for truck. I really like the look and the design of the Kenworth, the T680s, and I've read some very positive things about their reputation as far as their engines and whatnot, and their fuel efficiency. And that's a big deal, because thankfully the company I work for allows me to fuel under a company fuel card, which gives me fuel discounts. So we have negotiated fuel prices with certain truck stops as far as prices. So instead of paying the sticker price, let's say it's $250, I might pay $210 or whatever. And also I can fuel at our main location, and so that's nice. And by doing that, it helps to save some money. And also I picked this particular truck because didn't have a whole lot of damage on it. It's got some minor blemishes to the side, some fairings where the back of the cab. Other than that, she's in really good condition as far as being a 6-year-old truck, and it's only got just shy of 350,000 miles on it. My hope is to get 3 years out of it. Now, 3 years, if I average, let's say 100,000 miles a year, that'll put it up into the 650, 700,000 mile range, which is, it's pretty much the end of the life for this particular truck. But I'm hoping I can at least retain some trade-in value to get a more decent truck. And I'm trying to run my business debt-free. And right now I've got some starting debts, truck payments and stuff like that I didn't have before. So my goal is to pay this truck off as quickly as I possibly can, and then pay off all of my own personal private debts that I've had, school loans and whatnot. That way, everything I'm not spending as far as fuel and maintenance and insurance is basically pure profit to me. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty in the trucking industry, and right now I work for a company. Well, I contract to a company that I am on a dedicated fleet, so I always have the same set of customers, and I always got a load. Now, technically, I'm not supposed to come back to work till tomorrow, because I usually take 2 days off. I usually work 5 on, 2 off. But being I'm new to this, and I want to get as many miles as I can, so I opted to come back to work a day early. So I'm hoping I can gain some more miles this week, because the way this worked out is I had to pay basically 2 truck payments in a very short amount of time, and basically 2 months worth of insurance. And so it's going to be the first 3 to 4 settlements. I get settlements weekly, are going to be initially startup costs. And once that's done, I get my kind of operating costs under control, as far as I'm not buying things I didn't have, like tools and basic stuff for the operation of the truck, oil and windshield wiper fluid and things like that. Just your basic incidentals that you need as a driver. So I'm hoping that by the end of July, I'm hoping that everything that I need to operate is up and running, and the only thing that I have left is just my basic incidentals as far as meals and DAF, which is a additive for the emission system, and some other things to keep it on the road. Like I said, this is my first foray into being an owner operator, and my kitten, she's 10 years old, and I've had her since she was a baby, and she has always been kind of my go-to person for when that's probably a bad way of saying it, my go-to when I need to relax and enjoy time. I want her near me, and she's usually within an arm's reach of me at home. So I'm hoping that this transition goes really smoothly for her. So for the future, we'll see how First Officer Psycho is handling it. Right now, she's kind of chilling on the bed. We'll see what happens once we get running. I've watched a bunch of different videos about trucking with cats, especially because obviously you can't just let them out and let them go do their business on the grass somewhere. This you have to have a litter box. So I'm hoping that that works out well. As long as I can keep it clean, you know, every time I stop and whatnot, it shouldn't be too big of an issue. The big issue, I think, is going to be the litter on the car, on the floor. Trying to keep that clean and neat. So hopefully everything will go well. I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of podcasts that I really like, and I started listening to this one 3 years ago, maybe a little more than that. It's the Airline Pilot Guys show, hosted by Captain Jeff and his crew, and they kind of really keep my aviation interest. I am a pilot, but right now, because of the COVID, I haven't been doing any flying, and I'm hoping to finish my instrument training. So what I'm going to try and do is, while I'm cruising around the highways, use that time to listen to audiobooks. The FAA puts out a bunch of audiobooks. I want to say it's LibriVox, and you can get like all of that kind of stuff, and you can listen to it while you're driving. And when you're driving for 10, 11 hours a night, you know, you need to have something to keep your interest up. And I can use that time productively. Not only am I making money doing my job, but I'm also learning and studying at the same time. And I don't know how much I'll be able to retain while I'm driving, and you know, then I'll probably have to read the actual textbooks myself in addition to the audio versions. And especially because they have a lot of graphs and charts and whatnot in these texts, and it's kind of hard to visualize a chart while you're driving. So if nothing else, I'll be able to at least review that kind of stuff. And I'm hoping this time next year, today is June 18th of 2020, so I'm hoping by this time of next year I'll have this truck completely paid off, working to pay off all of my other stuff, and hopefully by the end of the year I'll have enough set aside that I can take a couple of weeks off and finish my instrument training. We'll see how that goes. I'll keep everyone updated as that progresses. But right now, due to COVID, I haven't done any flying. I haven't actually been in an airplane at the controls for almost 6 months, maybe 7 months. So next time I go out, I'll go out with an instructor pilot and just kind of break the rust, or bust the rust, as they say. Rusty pilots, you know, I'm sure I'm still safe to fly, and I'm sure I can do everything I need to do as a pilot without any problems. But just, you know, one of the big things in aviation is it's just like in the truck industry, is being safe. And I think by spending a couple hours, you know, maybe half an hour reviewing some basic rules and regulations, and then another hour and a half with an instructor doing some air work, as far as like doing some turns and climbs and descents and whatnot, and a whole bunch of landings, I should be alright. But right now I'm just kind of focused on doing this. Hopefully the weather, it's kind of gloomy right now, kind of raining, so hopefully the weather will cooperate. We need the rain though. Everything's kind of getting all brown and dry here because we haven't had any rain. So anyways, I hope you stick around and enjoy this video cast, podcast, I don't know what you want to call it. I'm just going to call it the Captain's Log because it makes sense to me. So I hope you enjoy the Captain's Log. It looks like First Officer Psycho wants to come and say hello, maybe? Come here. Come and say hello. Oh, here she is. First Officer Psycho. My friend and my companion, my emotional support kitty. Alright, well, that's all for the Captain's Log. We'll see you on the next one. I'm not sure when or how often I'll be putting these out. Probably I'm gonna try to at least get one done and published every 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes though, because sometimes I might be busy or whatnot, so hopefully everything will go all right. Until then, enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you stick around, and also I'll be sharing some tips and stuff that I learned as a beginning owner operator. All right, thanks for watching, and have a good time. See you next time.